Hi, it's Debbie Gilbert here with I Got Communities, and I just want to invite you into my kitchen. Of course, what I'm doing right now is cooking from the Autoimmune Solution cookbook that Dr. Amy Myers puts out. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I was diagnosed in 2007. I was 51 years old, and today in a couple weeks I'll turn 64. But I've had almost every treatment you can have for rheumatoid arthritis. I've gone through the gamut of all the oral medications, shots, infusions. They would work for a short while, then I would have side effects, or they would just stop working. And so in May, I was on Rinvoq, a fairly new medication, and I just ended up having a lot of side effects, ended up in the hospital. So I started doing research again myself and came upon Dr. Amy Myers' Autoimmune Solution. Shortly after that, so it's been about 8 weeks now, I started that program and I cook my own meals, and it's been very good to me. This solution so far has been very good to me. And I have gone from getting up in the morning using a cane to walk to the bathroom to riding my bicycle up to 16 miles on any given day. So, and walking, I've already been out this morning walking, and I think there just comes a time in our life when we have to use our own wisdom and our own discernment and do what's best. Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And so here's what I'm doing with all of that now. Yesterday, I tried to do these videos, and I was making guacamole, chunky guacamole salad, and some rosemary sea salt crackers. And I'll show you those in a few minutes, but technology just kicked my butt. And can I say, when you're a senior adult, that technology is not kind to us. And learning all these new things and new gadgets and gimmicks, it's really tough, and it makes you want to give up. But I thought, you know what? If I can ride my bicycle 60 miles after 8 weeks, technology is not kicking my butt, I'll kick technology's butt. So here I am, and we'll see how this goes. But I want you to feel welcome into my kitchen, and I just want to teach you what I'm doing. So just so you know, if you get the book and read it, you are eliminating some things that have been probably a part of your diet since you were born, or shortly after you were born. And so things you're eliminating for sure are the sugars, they're gone. The wheat products and grains, they're gone. For me, legumes are gone. Nightshades are gone for me because of the inflammation that it causes me. And I eat no dairy, and for me, I can eat eggs. So here I am, and I'm going to teach you what I've been learning. Now, the amazing thing is ever since I've been a little child, as long as I can remember, I have craved starches, carbohydrates, sugars. I have always thought from one meal to the next, what am I going to eat next? What am I going to eat next? And so a lot of time I've really even prayed, Lord, take these cravings away from me. But I can tell you that since I've started this autoimmune solution diet, I literally do not have cravings. And in fact, I remind myself now, okay, so you should eat. And this is a life change for me. So I'm just saying, this is what works for me. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm a mental health counselor, and so, you know, I deal with what works with your mind and how you think, and so I know how to do that. But I really recommend that before you start on a diet like this, that you talk with your physician. If you have not been diagnosed with a rheumatologist and you've only been diagnosed from a family physician perspective, I really recommend you find a good rheumatologist. I have a great rheumatologist, and so we go back and forth with my disease, and he tells me I'm way on the internet too much looking at things, and so I want food to be my medicine, and he says, well, maybe you're going to have to meet me in the middle, and maybe I will. I'm not saying that I won't ever be back on medication, but here's what I know. In 8 weeks, I'm off of my diabetic medications. My blood pressure medicine has been cut in half, and I'm taking nothing for RA. So that is a huge switch. I'm taking supplements. I'll talk with you about those in another video, but I just want to get into some of the things that I eat. So we're going to do sweet potato toast today, and I'm going to show you how to make some really great savory turkey sausage. So sweet potato toast, all you're doing is taking a sweet potato, you leave the skin portion on, and you cut it in slices. Now it's recommended that you cut these sweet potatoes about a 1/4 inch or so in thickness. But if you've ever sliced sweet potatoes, I'm telling you, good luck. And be careful, because you need a really, really sharp knife. And it's hard. It's hard to cut them because of the way sweet potatoes are made. But anyway, all you do, I've got these on parchment paper and laying on a baking pan. And this is avocado oil. I'm just going to take my pastry brush. I'm going to brush both sides of the sweet potato. And then we're going to bake these at about 425 for about 10 minutes on one side, and flip them over, and 10 minutes on the other side. Now, obviously, I'm not going to eat this much sweet potato toast this morning, so I'm going to make some, and you can keep this, which is really great. You can keep it for other days. So just flip it over and brush the other side. Sweet potatoes are not considered one of the nightshades, and white potatoes are. So some of the nightshades are peppers, tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, and they contain a chemical called lectin, or I guess it's a chemical, it's a part of the plant, and that can really play havoc on people who have autoimmune diseases. So I've got these brushed. I'm going to just slip these in the oven real quick. And about, in about 10 minutes on one side, 10 minutes on the other side. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make the sausage. So this is ground turkey. I purchased the ground turkey in Berea, Kentucky, at a little store called Happy Meadows. It's a kind of like a Whole Foods store, or they have lots of organic foods, and so I try to do mostly organic if I can find it. And so all you do is you take a pound of ground turkey, and I'm adding fresh garlic. You're going to put, it says about a teaspoon in, so I'm going to put some fresh garlic in here. 2 tablespoons of red onion. This is, sorry about my phone. This is a pinch of cumin, a pinch of ground mustard, and a pinch of ground pepper. And then I'm adding sage. Now, sage is not in the cookbook, but I'm going to add that because I love sage. I love sage with turkey. I love sage and sausage. And then I've got a half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt that I'm adding to that. So I'm going to mix this up all together. And actually, it makes about 8 patties of sausage, and so I eat on it all week long. Just make it up, put it in a container in the refrigerator, and then all I have to do is warm it up. And so a lot of times people don't like to, use a diet like this because they say it's just so much work and they don't have time. But what I have found, number one, I don't have a choice. Well, I have a choice, but this is my choice. I'm going to do what it takes so I can live healthy and play with my grandkids and get out of bed and walk without limping and ride my bike. I just want to live. I tell people all the time, I've prayed to live 120 and I'm only halfway there. So I better be doing something to make sure. I'd sure hate to live to be 120 the way I was going. So learned how to turn the page. I heard somebody talk one time, a motivational speaker, and he talked about, our life is just like a storybook and how that we can get stuck. We can get stuck in a chapter, we can get stuck in a paragraph. But the worst thing of all is to get stuck in a sentence where you become a disease and you stay there. So one thing he said, every day we have the right to turn the page. And that's certainly true, and so it's something that I've decided to do. So I've got this mixed pretty well here. I'm going to turn my skillet onto a medium high. And I cook in an iron skillet because that's what Dr. Myers recommends. We don't use aluminum, anything like that, any kind of coated thing. Teflon, definitely not. So I'm really happy that I had saved my grandmother's cast iron skillet, so I use that to cook with. Now, when I'm doing my patties, you can just dig in there and make patties if you want to, or you can use a scoop to do that, but I just scoop these out. Then you're going to get your hands in it. I'm going to divide it up so I can kind of get myself into 8 pieces. I love to cook, maybe that's been part of, well, that's not my problem. My problem is I've just been cooking, maybe using the wrong things. But when you're raised up as a Southern girl and you cook potatoes, hot potatoes, mashed potatoes, corn, gravy, biscuits, all of that, and you eat all of that, somewhere down the road you can end up in a problem like I have, because much of our health today is related to the diet that we choose to eat. Life's busy. I'm super busy, and it's easy to drive through, pick up something, or buy something in a package and put it in the microwave. But I'm trying to fall back in love with food that God created for us, and just try not to change it so much in so many ways. Another thing is I gave up coffee because that's a part of what was suggested in this book, and so I'm a tea drinker now. I drink a lot of herbal teas. Triple leaf teas come in a variety of different herbal essence, I guess, and so I drink a lot of reishi tea. It's a loose leaf tea that I boil and really, really love that. So just patting these out. 700 million people in the world today have autoimmune disease, and 78% of those are women. So when I decided to do some of this, I thought, well, I'm not a professional, but I do like to cook. But more than that, I really love people. I've always just been a people person. I love people. And when I started getting better and talking to so many people, even as a counselor who have autoimmune diseases, I thought, if I can do anything to encourage you or show you some things I'm doing that would maybe get you to turn your page to do something better, I'm all about that. I've learned a lot. There's a great website, it's called Women of Today, and some really great recipes on there also, but it's women helping women, and I found the website. I absolutely love it, so I encourage you to check out Women of Today. So I'm going to add this in here, and then I'm going to turn the sweet potatoes. We're going to brown this. This first takes about 5 minutes to cook it. So you're going to cook it, brown it. And then we're going to add a little bit of purified water. And cook it about 5 more minutes. Now, I was telling you that I get my meat, I got the turkey sausage at Happy Meadows in Maria, but I order most of my meats from a company called Butcher Box, and it is grass-fed animals, and it's just a source that is recommended in the autoimmune solution. Occasionally, I will get some of my meats at Whole Foods. So, and then from time to time, I can find some things at Kroger here. But not living in a big city, you're a little bit limited somewhat to what you can do with some products. So, letting this cook, let's go ahead and turn the sweet potatoes now. They're looking yummy, and they hold together well. So you can see how they're looking now. Oh yeah. My mom's a great cook, and I want her to do recipes for IGOT communities. We have an IGOT community online cookbook that our members just put together, and it's got all the southern foods in it and great desserts. We're going to make some of those just to show you, even though it's not what I eat now. But, some people don't have autoimmune, they can eat what they choose, but my mom gets really nervous when we're videoing her, but it's just the idea. We learn things all through our lives that we can pass on from generation to generation. I have 3 granddaughters, and I've been letting them cook with me since they've been about 2, and they love to cook. They love to make things. They love to be involved with me, and love to cook. So anyway, what we do is sharing it with other generations, just some of the things that we know and some of the things that we've learned. So this is browning very nicely. I'm going to flip these over. By the way, I'm cooking this in 1 teaspoon of avocado oil. just a minute before the top line, about 2 more minutes. So, I just want to tell you while I'm waiting on this cooking a little bit about I Got Communities. I Got Communities is an organization for senior adults, and it's a place where we try to build environments where senior adults can be happy, healthier, and feel better. We believe that as we age, we shouldn't just survive, but we should thrive. And so some of the new things, so you can go to our website, it's igotcommunities.com, and you can join for free. Everything that we do there for senior adults is just free information, and there's everything, all kinds of information there that may be of help to you. From time to time, we're on addressing mental health issues for senior adults. It's one of the reasons we wanted to start the program. Currently, we're in the process of actually building literal communities where senior adults can live together, and so we have big plans for I Got Community Village coming up probably within the next 2 years, and it will be a gated community with pool and clubhouse and activities directors, and just a great safe place where we really interact and keep senior adults socially connected throughout their life. We know that when you begin to feel bad, you begin to isolate, and if you isolate for only 2 weeks even, your anxiety and depression can begin to climb. So when you retire, you lose a lot. You lose your job, the career that made you feel important. You lose that group of friends who was a big part of your family. And the worst thing that could ever happen would be that you would lose yourself. And so our program is really just to help you to be completely sound, body, mind, and soul. So, it's about 2 minutes of browning here. It's looking good on these sides. Chicken just a little bit, but that's okay. It's looking browning really well. Okay, now the recipe says you can add 2 tablespoons of bone broth and then just let it cook about 5 more minutes, or you can use purified water. I'm just adding purified water to keep it pretty moist on the inside. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cover that and turn that down and let it simmer a little bit to cook all the way through. Shortly, the potatoes are going to be done, and when those sweet potatoes come out, we're going to serve those, the sweet potato toast. I have some coconut yogurt here that you can spread on the top of it with some strawberries diced up. But what I really love is the cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, ginger taste that goes with sweet potatoes that are year-round. And so what I have here is just a mixture. I've just put in some cinnamon, some ginger, some cloves, and some nutmeg. And when it comes out, you can sprinkle that on top, or you can just sprinkle a little sea salt and eat it that way. Before I go, I'm going to show you what I did yesterday, and I'll do a video on this a little bit later. But one of the things I thought would be tough for me, because I love crunchy food. I love chips and crackers and things like that. So if you can't eat anything with gluten in it or the wheat in it, then, or corn, so that takes away a whole lot of your options. So in the cookbook, there is this recipe for rosemary sea salt crackers, and they just look like this. They're very crunchy and good, and so they're made with cassava flour, and so I'll show you those at some time. And the guacamole, it's a chunky guacamole, and this is even good on the top of the sweet potatoes. So I'll share this recipe maybe with you in a couple of days. But these are just some other things that are on the diet. So what I want you to realize is this. Yes, it's different. It's not your American standard diet anymore. It's not all the breads and all the pastas and all the pizza and things that you may have loved so much. It's not chicken dipped in flour, fried in oil. It's not that. But the foods in this cookbook are so amazing and they're so tasteful that I really, really encourage you to consider turning this page. And I am free for you to call me if you want to talk about what's going on with this diet plan. I would love for you to call. You can email me at debbie@igotcommunities.com. And when you get there, you're going to find a number to get in touch with me. But, you know, the most important thing is something that I heard another motivational speaker say. And he said, just keep living. And that's what I want to say to you. You know, you've got this one life, this one opportunity to live it well and to make a difference in other people's lives. And so I'm just saying to you, just make a decision to just keep living. So we're going to take these things out. I'm going to show them to you real quick. And I hope you've enjoyed what we've done so far today. Okay, so here we go. Here's our toast. We're going to take this up a little bit. These are going to be perfect. You can hold them in your hand, just like a piece of toast. I actually like the ones with the full edges on them. I love to eat the skin. It's very healthy, very nutritious. Okay. So I'm going to set this to the side. And let's just let's fix us a few little cinnamon and nutmeg on these. A couple of my favorites. Okay. And I'll top some with a little bit of yogurt and strawberry. My mom lives next door, so I'll have to take some and share with her. But just think about, you know, you have toast usually with strawberries or something on top of it, and, you know, just top it up and be able to eat it. And I'll save this one later for some guacamole around lunchtime. Let's get the sausage down and take it up. So here we go. Savory sausage and sweet potato toast. I hope you've enjoyed the day. I look forward to seeing you again. In the meantime, you just keep living.